setup for you for a 3-player game, and I'm going to set it up for the black, blue, and red pieces. They seem to show up the best. Each player needs a player sheet. There are 2 sides. This is the basic side and the advanced side. Each player has a starting special ability. You can allow people to choose their own if you just wanted to play with the different artwork. Each side has a male and a female. Some males have the bonus special ability, some females. So you just pick what you like. So I have 5 rations for each player. We'll set those there for now. We'll just put the rest out of the way. All the idle pieces, okay, we'll just leave those nearby. We won't need them yet, and you won't use all of them in a game. There's just no way. Then we have these trail tokens. These need to go next to the water in these sections, the colored side up. Each player with their player board you can put your player piece in the camp. 2 of your toolkit crates will go there, and 1 will go here at the bottom of the board. This is considered for the end game as an active toolkit. Even if you don't have a special ability at the moment, if it is down here, it is on the track. So we'll put these here. Each player will get 3 rations to start with, and the rest can stay here in camp. Then get these. All of these are the same, both sides. It doesn't matter. In a 2-player game, you would simply go to one of these places and put 2 of them. In a 3-player game, you do 3. Do the same with the temples, and we'll get to that in a moment. You need 4 of each color, so we'll just randomly take, and then we'll put these in the box. The next level would be these squares, and you're going to do the same. 4 of each, and then 4 of these. And in a 2-player game, you would stop at this level. In a 3 to 5-player game, you would add the tops. So I'm going to do that right now. Each of the temples, if you see, it has an outline, and that will show you that you can put that piece on top. In a 2-player game, you would stop. In a 3, 4, or 5, you would take this and align it there. And you'll do that with all the temples. And all I did was shuffle up the bases and put them on the board randomly, and then completed the stacks for each purple, blue, or white temple. So we have each temple at a stack of 3 tiles. We have each ruined temple with a road symbol at a stack of 3 tiles. We have the leftover rations there. We have our pieces there, and all of the river paths have a toolkit beside them. The rest of the stuff is in the box. We won't need it for the rest of the game. And then I have the money sitting out there that we can get as we need. And we're ready to play. It is a little bit fiddly to kind of set it up at first, but it looks good. It's ready to go. And if you'd like, you can come back and join me. I'll do a 3-player playthrough. So let's just get started. I'm just going to go down like this to show you how this works. You can move at the start of your turn or at the end of your turn 1 path that you have not explored before. So for instance, if I travel this, that is 1 path he has not explored, and he cannot go any farther because there is no exploration. So he will explore at this ruined temple. For 1 ration, you put it here, we'll explore, and we'll just discard this. We won't need this for the rest of the game. And you can take, that symbol says place 1 of your tiles. Well, they decided they're going to put 1, you know what, let's just start right there on the river. And you'll see how those function later. That is their turn. Now, the blue player, they're going to do something very similar, and you're going to see a lot of very similar gameplay as we go. They're going to do that, and then the red player will go straight to the blue temple. And for 1 ration, they will explore that first layer of the temple. Now, the blue temples all have random point values. For instance, this one is 2. So at the end of the game, this will be worth 2 victory points. You just keep that hidden. The top layers are usually 2s and 3s. The middle layers are usually 4s, 3, 4s, 5s, and the bottom layers are usually like 5 or 6. It's just varying. The blue temples are all in-game bonus points. These all, and I'm sorry, I should have done this as part of setup. The purples are all instant one-time uses. So let's turn that up on each one of those temples. That will give you a one-time instant bonus when you explore that temple. And we'll get to those as they come up. Then, the white temples, I'll just show you one real quickly. This says if you discard it, you'll get 2 coins. We'll get to that when it comes up, but these all have a game-changing effect that if you hold them, you can earn extra points, or at the end of the game, you can get extra points. But you can only have 1 of the octagonal in your inventory, 1 of the square in your inventory, or 1 of the base. And if you get a second one, you have to choose which one you want, discard the other one for 2 coins. Each player has taken a turn. We'll just go right back to the black player. They are going to travel down this river. They pass by this toolkit. So now, before they take their action, each action you must do first a move. You must move your piece at least 1 space on the board. It cannot sit where it was. And then the second is to explore if you want. If you have the rations to do it. If not, then you need to go back to camp. And if you ever touch camp, your movement ends and you grab some rations. So they moved. Pick up a toolkit. Now, they can either add a toolkit to the bottom of the board, or they can move a toolkit to the bottom space of one of these tracks. And what I think they are going to do is, for now, let's move that there. They can always get an extra toolkit if they want. There is a token that will give you bonus points for each toolkit that is on your track. Remember, this is considered on the track, this is not. Even if it's down here at the starting place, that is considered on the track for in-game bonuses. So everybody needs to be aware that that token could possibly be in the game, and that might be something that they need to be aware of. For 1 ration, they will explore this, and we will just put that there, and that is their turn. The game goes really quickly. The blue player, they are going to do something similar. They're kind of copying. They'll go down this river. Now, they have that path. They could go here if they wanted, or they could go here if they wanted. And they see that this temple is not really going to give them too much of a good turn if they were to take it. So they are going to move here for free since they have the exploration there, and then they get to move 1 unexplored path at the end of their turn. They'll go there, and they will, for a ration, put down, and they were going to put it here. You must put the exploration path next to where you are standing, unless you have a tile token or a temple that lets you do otherwise. So they did that. They're going to end their turn. They forgot to get this. So they're going to, let's move them up there. Why not? We'll do something different with them. Red will move over here. And it's a lot of repetitive same stuff going on right now. This could be a good for the future. But before they do that, technically I was supposed to do this first, but that's okay. And they are going to get another toolkit down here. Boom. Back to the starting player. Let's move them up here for this ration. We'll just keep that a secret. And blue player will move along this river and get this, and they are going to move that up, and then for one ration they will take this tile. And if you notice, it says add one toolbox. Toolbox plus one. It's an instant, so we will just put that back in the box, and they get a new toolbox down on the bottom of their track. And you instantly get to turn this over to see what it is. And that is an instant go back to base camp, but remember, you must start your turn by moving, so that won't help them much. Red player, they are going to go here and excavate this, and let's see what they got. As you can see in the manual, it says each time an opponent moves a pathway that is already on the board to a different trail, take one ration from the base camp up to a max of 5 in your player board. They could have reworded this a little differently, because it says take one additional ration. Just say take a ration when another player. But we have it in the book, and you can see with that little number 4 in the picture, it corresponds to tile number 4 in the book. So just have that handy so that everyone will know. So they have this tile number 4. They're going to hold on to that. They could keep it face down until they decide to use it or not use it. You cannot just discard it for free. But I'm going to leave it face up just for my self, so that I will know that they have that ability. Back to the first player, they're out of rations, so they've ended their turn next to the base camp. They're going to go here and simply take 3 rations. That is their turn. The blue player, they are also out of rations, but what they're going to do is they're going to move once down an uncharted path and then stop there. It'll save them 1 turn getting back. And then the red player will do the same as well and get to camp. Back to the black player, they are going to do, I think they're going to go here. They want to get some more paths out. They're going to put this one here for 1 ration. Blue player, they made it back to camp. Red player, they are going to go excavate this temple, this part of the temple. Now this one says when placing adjacent pathways, place 2 instead of 1. Now they just got that. That will come in handy. The black player, let's see, they are going to move here, and for 1, get them some more points. Blue player, plan ahead a little bit. They're trying to be sneaky. They're going to go ahead and go here and do this, and then place a path that way. Red player, they want to get some paths on the board as well. So for 1 ration, they're going to put 1, let's put it right there. Then back to the black player. They can now go here. They will get a toolkit. They're going to do that, and then for 1 ration, they're going to activate that ruins, let's just put it on the river that they just explored. Why not? Because remember, it has to be on a path adjacent to the space they are on. Blue, they're going to end their turn here and use a ration to explore or to chart that river. Red player, let's see. They're not super keen on that special ability they have there, so they will go through that river getting a toolbox, and they are going to get the last toolbox there, and then they are going to spend this ration to explore that temple, and when you place a pathway on the board, gain a coin. They like that. That sounds great. So they don't know if the game is going to go long enough that people are going to be moving their paths around and such, so they're going to discard this. Remember, when you have two of these, you must choose which one you want, discard the other, and it's printed right here for everyone to know. When you discard it, take 2 coins. And they never even had to tell the other people what that was if they didn't want to. 2 coins, they're going to put them face down right there. And they're going to travel this path and travel this path, and boom. At the end of their turn or at the beginning, they just chose at the end. They went through one uncharted path. They're in base camp. They got themselves 3 rations. Blue player is going to simply move here. And for their last ration, they will explore the purple temple. It says to immediately teleport back to base camp and grab 3 rations. So that's what they're going to do. This is immediately spent. And then they will teleport back here, grab 3 rations, and we flip this over to reveal it. Now, the red player is in a really tough spot. They will move 1 unexplored path, then they'll travel here, and they are stuck there for this turn. They have no rations to make it back to camp. The black player is going to move here, and this time they're finally going to go ahead and connect to the base camp in case they're stuck out on the map somewhere and they can't get back. They don't have to use that. They've traveled that path enough. I think they know that is a safe route. The blue player, they will, let's move here, and for 1 ration they're going to put a road. Let's put one, let's just put it right there for now. That works. Red player, well, they have no choice really. They need to do that. And I'm sorry, I just forgot. As soon as the last token is taken from any space on the board, you put a relic down after you conclude your action with that space. So we've gone through the debris of this ruined temple and we found this little statue. There we go. Back to the black player. And blue player may have just messed up, because remember, at the start of your turn or at the end of your turn, you can move 1 space on an uncharted path. And I do like how in the instruction book they do purposely choose a photo. If you look at the arrow number 1 next to this black road tile token, there is no red path down on that first section. So even when you are recovering a relic, you may, at the start or the end of your turn, under normal moving conditions, move on an unexplored path. So back to the board. If you start your turn at a shrine that has a relic, and you end your movement, and then here, at a shrine with the same relic, then you may pick up that relic. It doesn't even cost you a ration. You pick up the relic. Boom. That is 5 points at the end of the game. Every different relic that you are able to gather at the end of the game is worth 5 points. And there are tokens that will give you bonus points and such, but boom, there we go. And he snuck that right out from under the blue player. Don't put any more tokens out. That one is gone. That temple has been raided. This one cannot be raided until another one is on the board. So this is a path building racing game, and blue just lucked out. I would say the black player is in a great position right now. So what's the blue player going to do? They're going to move here, excavate for 1. Remember, this is an instant. See the road to the road? It's also here on your player board. There is a 1-time use and here's a 2-time use. Especially on the 2-time use, you must take 2 road pieces and put them on 2 path places where you currently have no paths. So you could not do this. I'm going to move this one here and then move this one here. That would not count. 2 old paths with 2 new ones. This is just a 1-to-1. And it's an instant use. They will take, let's take this one and put it there. Not a big deal. All right. Ooh, or do they want to? That's probably good enough for now. Yeah. Red player, they have their rations now, so they are going to go down here for 1 ration and put a path out, and they'll put it right there. They're going to go over here and for 1 ration, oops, I almost threw that off the board, they get this tile. Flip up to 2 toolbox tokens anywhere on the board, each of them either up or down, your choice. These 2 flips do not cause any of your 2 boxes to move up on your progress table. We'll talk about that. But if you happen to flip the last face-up toolbox token on the board as part of these 2 flips, then move one of your toolboxes up. When the last token on the board of these is flipped like this, that player immediately gets to move one of their toolboxes an additional movement up. It doesn't get you a new one. It moves one of them up, an additional. Then you flip them all back over to this side. So he gets 2 flips, up or down, doesn't matter. He does that instantly, and he thinks, let's just do this. He could be mean and come over here and flip this tool box, but he would rather flip these 2. He wants to go this way, so he's flipped those back up. Blue player, well, they're going to go here, and yes, you can occupy the same space. That's not a problem. And then for their last ration, they will add a path right there behind them. And if you notice, there's no more tokens there for the old ruins. So boom, we put a relic down. Hopefully you can see that well. It's at the bottom of the screen. On to the red player. Ooh, they are looking, they have no way to get up there. None. And actually the blue player doesn't either. So that looks kind of safe right now. The red player decides, well, I'm just going to stick to, oop. Let me rewind a little bit. The red player put down a path. When you place a path, grab a coin. Mess that up a little bit, but we'll fix that real quick. Now they're going to move here. And for 1 token, or 1 ration, they will explore this. This one doesn't seem as interesting. I'll go ahead and show you. Whenever you go back to base camp, when you leave, you can take and flip any toolbox token over on the board, up or down. And that's what it's saying, up or down, doesn't matter. They're just going to discard that for the 2 coins. Black player, well, they're going to move here. And why not put a path out? We do that first. they're going to put it here. And yes, you can have multiple paths that are explored by multiple people, but only one for each player. That was the last of that. So they will go there, and that does not look good for the red player. And we'll see why in just a moment. Blue player. Actually, the black player just hurt themselves and they don't even realize it. The blue player sees an opportunity. They are standing on a green relic. They're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces, and they get to grab this token. And I forgot to give him his points, so I will have to go back and watch that video. I believe it was 1, 2 spaces. Yeah, 2 spaces. So 2 times 2 is 4, so they get 4 points. The blue player went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got a big 10 points for grabbing that relic right out from under the blue player, who was going to try and get that the next turn. Red player, they are going to move here, get another path down on the board. Let's put this one right there. They put a path down, they get a point. Now the black player, their plan is a little messed up, but oh well. They'll go back to their original plan. They'll move down here. They'll get a toolbox. They're going to move that one up. This is kind of interesting. You must take the action of an adjacent ruin or temple location, but not the base camp, as if it was your current location. Make sure to remove both the top purple tile that gave you this power and the top tile of that adjacent location. If this action lets you build a pathway, then you must build it adjacent to the purple temple that you're standing on. And then it's just saying towards the end of the game there's going to be less tiles, so it may not be as beneficial. So if he excavates here, he could then excavate the blue temple or this road. If he does the road, he does not go here or here. He builds here or here next to the purple temple. Use this to build a road and just go ahead and build it. That would just be a weird loop, but it works. Build it right there next to the temple he's standing on. The purple temple has been excavated. Boom, time for a purple relic. On to the blue player, and as we said, they are out of tokens, so they are going to move down their path and then move 1 free space. The red player, they are out, so they're going to move down their path and move 1 free space to get back to base camp. And then back to the black player, they are also out, so they're just going to hop back to base and fill up as well. One unexplored, and then down their path, and they'll spend 1 here, and they'll get this. This was supposed to have been face up. I'm sorry. I forget to do that. This will allow them to use something that is next to them if they want it. Well, let's see. They are going to go ahead and use that. I think they're going to get a temple. Remember, the blue temples are just end of game scoring. Now this will flip over. The red player, well, they are going to move 1 on an unexplored and then 1 on their path. They'll go here. And then for 1 ration, they will build a road down, or a path, an explored path down that river, and they will put a relic out. Right now there are 2 relics gone. Remember, when there are 8, the other players will get an extra turn. And they're going to go just 1 space, pay a ration, and excavate this temple and It's not bad, but they're going to wait. Now, blue player. They're just going to move one space, excavate this to instantly grab 2 rations. And you can look in the book if you like. Token number 3. Grab 2 rations up to a max of 5. And then flip this over and there would be 1 free toolbox. Red player. They are going to go over here. And for 1 ration. They forgot they have this special power. They keep forgetting. They placed a path. Boom. And they also have this square. When you place an adjacent pathway, place 2 instead of 1. I think they're going to put 1 there. Adjacent from here. When they built in the river, they could also build there. So, this new one says they could teleport to a temple, but not a shrine, of the same color as if you occupy, as one that you currently occupy. So, you could go from white to white, but you could not go from a green shrine that has a relic, even if it doesn't have a relic. It's been explored. You couldn't go from there to there or from there to there. So it'd have to be blue to blue, green to green, etc. They're not too worried about that, so they discard it for 2 coins. Back to the black player. They will simply move here. And for 1 ration, they will excavate that. Alright, that looks good. And green player. I'm sorry, blue player. I saw this. Blue player. They're going to move back to here. And they are going to excavate this. And that is another one of the move a road if you like. Well, they're going to. This might seem strange, but they're going to move this road right over there to the river. They discard this. They have fully excavated the purple temple, so purple relic. And that is their turn. Red player. What are they going to do? They are going to move right over here. And for 1 ration, I'm going to remember this time. They get to put down an extra path, so they're going to put 1 here in the river for sure, and let's see, I think they're going to put it right there. That looks good. Each time you place a pathway immediately, so each time. So here they built a road, then they built an extra free road, but they didn't get a coin for it, and they should have, because it's just putting the path on the board. Here they put 2 down, so they get 2 coins. That is a great combo of tiles for them. That's working out really well for them. Now back to the black player. They are going to move back here. Oh. They are going to spend their last ration to excavate that temple, and 4 points. They're going to wait. And you'll see what I'm talking about later, but there we go. The blue relic. The falcon. The azure falcon. Blue player. Now, if you remember, they moved their path over here, and this is why nobody could really stop them. There was no way anybody was going to stop them. They're going to start here at this purple relic. And they are going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paths for 12 points. Oops, wrong board. 12 points, and they will pick up this purple relic. What a huge score. And by moving that, they just moved 1 extra path and got 2 more coins. What an amazing turn. Red player. They will go down here in this corner. Oh, nope, they're out of rations, so they need to get back to base. So let's go one move, and then one free move to get their rations. Player 1 will simply go back to camp. They need more rations to explore. The blue player will move one space up here and explore that temple to get them some points. The red player will move once unexplored and then down their path to this temple to explore that. But first, they passed by this. They're going to do that for now. Now let's see what this says. When you are the first player to explore a ruin or a temple, remember, these are ruins and these are temples. If you're the first player, well, that might be good early in the game, but they have this money combo here, so they're going to discard that to get 2 coins, but they still got money off of it. And I'm sorry the boards are a little messy because I'm trying to keep everything on camera best I can. Back to the black player. They are going to, they're not going to go over here. They want to, but they're not going to go over there because the blue player is waiting to try and steal it from them. Very, very nasty. So instead, I think they are going to go down their path and then move over here, or they could have gone this way. They'll take this for 1 ration and build a road right there. Ooh, nope. Right there. That was the last of the ruins, so there we go. Blue player, they know they can't race over there. I think they're going to go 1 unexplored, 1 here. They will instantly get 1 toolbox, and they are going to get their last one out on the board. Uncover the purple relic. Then red player, they're going to just move 1 space, get them some coins by placing their last 2 paths down. So now if they want to place paths, they will have to move them. Black player, well, since they're here, they're just going to go ahead and go 1, 2 and grab this just to kind of keep other people from getting it, but they also get 4 coins. And that action, remember, retrieving relics, if you start and stop on the same relic, it doesn't cost you any rations. So they went ahead and did that. Blue player is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to grab this one. And that is 8, 5, and a 3. And that is 8 points. Red player, they will go over here, excavate, and let's see what they get. When exploring a temple, select the tile you want from it. Well, that could be cool, especially if they go over here. Let's see about that. So if you look under the shovel in this brownish column, it says on the second one there, place a pathway from your reserve, and the tile says when placing adjacent paths, place 2 instead of 1. Also, if you look under the compass in the blue section there in the middle, it says move a path or move 2 paths. That does not count as placing. That is completely different. So because they cannot place any more paths, they are out of them. This one is really no more use to them. They won't get a lot out of this one, but they may, so they'll go ahead and keep that. They'll discard that one for the 2 coins, but they got a lot of good use out of it, which now means that this one is not really going to benefit them anymore, but there are no more white ones on the board for them to be able to discard this. But I think they got plenty of great value out of that. Too bad they couldn't get a path there, but that is okay. This is still going to work very nicely. They will go here, and for 1 token, 1 ration. They will excavate this. And that was only a 3. That is not what they wanted. So they are going to hold off again. Bummer. But they did uncover a blue relic. There. Blue player. Well, let's see. What are they going to do? Let's see. I think they're going to go over here so that they can get this toolbox, move that up on the blue track, and they don't have any rations to put out another path, but I really don't think that's going to matter for what they want to do. They can see the game is getting close to over. They might could expand their path somehow, but they think this is good enough. They're going to go ahead and turn this in. If you look there under the compass, for each pathway in your longest pathway route, get 2 coins. You can only use 1 toolbox action per turn. They're going to spin that to get. This would be their longest path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2 would be 12 coins. I think that was an amazing turn for them, even if they didn't get to use to put down 1 more path right here. I mean, they could have possibly spent several turns but the game could be over. White is really struggling over here. They are going to zip over here, and for this ration, they now, with their new tile, when exploring a temple, you select the tile you want. So let's see. Move on an unfamiliar trail in the middle of your chain. Now, you know how I told you, either at the beginning of your turn or at the end of your turn, you can move on 1 uncharted path, but not in the middle. This would allow you to do that, which is pretty powerful. And then at the end of the game, collect 3 points for each ivory tile in front of you, including this one. Well, that will be 9 points. So that 1 tile that they can't get rid of will now give them points. So they're going to go ahead and excavate and take that. Why not? So that temple looks a little weird, but no big deal. Now, player 1, they are going to move once on an uncharted path. Then they're going to go 2, 3. Ooh, no, you cannot touch the same space twice. Oh, so they're going to lose out on some money. That is unfortunate. Oh, well, they're going to go, in that case, instead of putting this road here, they would have put that road there, so they could go 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Get some 2 extra coins. I went back and fixed something that the player playing the game hopefully would have seen on their own. They get this relic. They are looking in a good spot. They probably didn't need those extra 2 points. 3, 6. We need 8. The game is really flying by. Blue player, well, they got to get to base camp, and they're going to move 1 space, and then move here for free, and then they're stuck. Red player, they're also out of rations, so they will move down their path or up their path or wherever, get here, and then move 1 free and get 3 rations. Back to the first player. They're right here next to base camp. Why not? They're just going to move in. Hopefully they won't have to go back to base camp again. Blue player. Everybody's in base, bragging about how much exploring they've done. Back to the red player. They are going to move here. They don't want to go here just because it's right next to base. Somebody could jump on it and try to mess them up. Plus this one's 1 extra space away. We already know what this is. You may move on trail in the middle or at the end, in the middle instead of just, don't really need that. I don't think it's going to help. They'll discard it. And they have so many 1s over here. I'm going to cash them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. will cash those in, and with the 2 they get for that discard of that temple tile, they'll take a 10. Well, absolutely going to go down here and explore this temple and see what they get. There we go. That is much better than a 3. 5 points. So they're going to go ahead and reveal this, and I'll show you why here in the book. Right there at the max level shovel, double all victory points you score during this turn. When used on a blue temple, reveal the tile that you want to double to all the players and take the corresponding amount of victory points. Instead of getting 5 at the end of the game, they're going to go ahead and double that and take 10 now, so we just discard this and we use that toolbox. Now, if you were to get a really long path like the blue player did, really long path, and score, you do not double the relic points, because those are calculated at the end of the game, determined by the number of different relics you have. So you don't get to double those relic points. But you could double the points that you got traveling the road. So you kind of just choose when you think it's best. He doubled a 5. That's pretty good. So he went ahead and got rid of that temple tile piece. Blue player's turn. They're stuck here in base. They're going to go ahead and do the same. That one's not as good, but that's okay. That's points. And that puts another relic on the board. Uh-oh. Ooh, and the red player was supposed to put a relic there. So now we have lots of relics on the board. Red player, well, they're going to, of course, go all the way down here. And at the end of the game, collect 4 points for each toolbox on your progression table. So like I said, here it is. So on page 6 at the bottom, it says the toolbox progression table during the course of the game. Once you move a toolbox onto a path, it must continue on that path. The toolboxes are on the machete branch, the compass, or the shovel there at the top of page 7 where you're looking. Each player starts the game with 1 toolbox at the bottom of his progression table, so at the bottom. The other 2 boxes are set aside away from the progression table on the chart. They are not into play. They only come into play later in the game. So once they are at the bottom, they are considered on the chart. It says using a specific purple temple action, or you using another toolbox already on the chart to perform the corresponding level action. Once the toolbox begins moving up a branch, it must stay on that branch. There are none over here out of the game. They are all on the progression chart table, even though they're down here at the bottom. Okay, that is 3 times 4 is 12, as opposed to this one, which at the end game would be 3 times 3 or 9. So they definitely want to discard this for 2 points, and they put a relic out in that space, and I think you see what they are about to do. The black player sees that the game is about to be over. Can they get any points? I don't know if they can. They know they can't beat the blue player there. They can't get over there. Just go here and explore to put a path out. Let's put it, doesn't really matter, they can go down that path anyway, but they're going to explore there. And they get to put out another relic. Blue player, well, of course, they're going to start here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 unexplored path. And yes, you can go an extra long space if you want. So, and in fact, if they had a path here, they could go 1, 2, 3, just to do it. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2 is 10. And that is a little awkward. There's no real reminder. You just have to remember that. I guess times 2 times 2. I don't know. Maybe you could remember that way. But then they grab this blue relic. That is 3 and 4 is 7. 1 more. On to the red player, which is unfortunate. They wanted to get this white one and then turn around and get the green one, and they're not going to be able to. They're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So they will turn in 2 to take 10. And they will pick up this relic. And that is 3, 7, 8 relics. As you see here, the last turn of the game occurs when a certain number of relics have been collected by all of the players, and it varies by the number of players. Once this condition is met, each player plays one final time up to, but not including, the player that collected the game-ending relic and triggered the last turn. And it is still possible to gather or collect relics during this final turn, and then you do victory points. So, unfortunately, the red player just collected the 8th relic. That ends their game. They are done. But the black and the blue player both get 1 extra turn. Maybe they messed up with that road. That's only 2 points. So they're going to start here and they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they definitely should have probably put that road there and gone whoop. But 4 times 2 is 8. So 5 and 3 is 8. And they get another green relic. That is the end of their game. Oh, and before they did that, they actually passed over this river, which is really going to hurt the blue player because they were going to do this. Black player is going to move this toolbox up, spend the 1 toolbox to get 2 free victory points. Why not? So the blue player looks like they may not have anything they can do. I'm just double checking the board. They can get way over here. So they could get over here, but that's not going to do them any good. They could get here. They could get there. Yeah, they have nothing they can do at all. They can't even make it back to base to pick up more rations. I mean, they can move 1 or 1 uncharted space, so they can't even get, so that is their turn. Unfortunate, but I still think they did pretty good. Let's move down to the player boards and calculate the scores really quick. I want to show you, I did double check these. This one, at the end of the game, you get 2 points for each unused ration. Nobody had that. And then if you have a duplicate relic, it's still worth 5 coins when normally it's not worth anything. This player has 2 different colored relics gathered, so that is 10 points. Each unique one is 5. Then let's look at the coins. And I thought they had a 10. There we go. So 10, 15, 18, 20. There's 9, 10, there's 32 in coins. And then we should have some big points here. Now remember, the 5 we already got rid of because they doubled it. So there's 4, there's 7, there's 10, there's 4 and 8, and 2 is 23. 23. Quick math says that is 5, that is 5, that is 55, and 10 is 65. The blue player, wow, did much better than I remembered. 5, 10, 15 for relics, 40, 5, 8, there's 10, so there's 52 in coins, and 5 and 6 is 11 in temples. I accidentally wrote white first because they had so many white temple tiles, but this one, they're done with when exploring, nothing. When you place, nothing. Those get them nothing. This blue one was 2. This is 4 for each one of those in play. So that is 12. So they ended up with 5 for the relic, 10, 20, 30 for their tokens, and 2 plus 12 for a score of 49. Not really close. Decent little jump there, decent little jump there. What, 16 points and 13 points. These are the starting bonus actions I was telling you about. Start the game with two boxes at the bottom of your progression table instead of 1. Start the game with your character on a temple or ruin that is adjacent to the base camp. So one free space movement. before the first turn, move your toolbox one step up on the progression table, so you get to start on one of these 3. Take 1 extra ration from base camp at the game start, or before your first turn, place one of your pathways on a trail that is leaving the base camp. What do we think of the game? I think it is pretty cool. I would say a good 60 to 70% of my games are games like this. I come across it during a sale when an online distributor would have a sale. I would go through the sale and look at the games, and this one popped up on a holiday sale or a clearance sale or something like that. And I said, that looks neat. Let me go check it out. Let me look into it. And I looked at it, and I was like, whoa, those are gorgeous pieces. And I read about the game. I did some research. I'm like, okay, this is not a hard game. This is a pretty cool game, and I'll take a chance. And I added it to an order. I would go to get an order for just 1 or 2 specific games, and then I would add other games, and this was one of those. Honestly, more than half of my collection are games like this where I just added them on to see what they were like because they were at such a good deal. Well worth it. Is it worth you going out and searching? That I don't know. I know this could be hard to find at times and it might increase the price, but all these little pieces, like even these rations, you have like a little canteen and such, those are cool. All of these are awesome. Don't step on that. That is worse than any Lego. Good grief. But these are cool. These skulls look so cool. They're nearly transparent. They just really cool. The player pieces I'm not super huge on. These busts of an explorer, because they're all the same, just different colors, but you could replace those with pawns if you're interested. The towels are nice quality. The insert is mostly great. It will work for now. If I decide to replace this, or if I decide to do like a dry brush on the red and the black and then do a wash on the others, I'll record that for you in the future if I decide to do that. But for now, this all works fine the way it is. So nearly perfect storage the way it is. They gave you the bags, just throw the stuff in there. The towels, you need 1 extra space for those, which is unfortunate, but everything else is great. Fun game, worth what I paid for it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this gives you a great idea of how to play Relic Runners. Again, thanks for watching. Y'all stay safe, stay healthy. God bless.